Hello and welcome to an ASMR as voted in by my Twitch viewers. They have chosen zoo animals who successfully manage to kill a human being. Our first case takes us to Zhaoke Wildlife Park in the Shandong province of China. The year is 2016. And our animal of choice? A walrus. Walruses can grow up to about 3,700 pounds. That's 1,700 kilograms. They can get as long as 3.6 meters, approximately 11 feet. They're known for their seal-like appearance, but with a face that seems to have been more punched in. And of course, their signature tusks, growing up to about 1 meter or 3 feet in length. The walrus we're focusing on was only 3,300 pounds and had chosen to chill in the shallow end of the walrus pool. A lovely tourist, more obsessed with selfies than safety, decided that the walrus was the perfect animal to take a selfie with. The tourist was successful in snapping one final glorious picture for the precious social media. But after the selfie was taken, the walrus decided he needed a hug. Lunging from the water, the walrus wrapped one flipper around the tourist, dragging him into the water. The zookeeper, freaking out by this turn of events, dived in to try and help the tourist. But the walrus was like a lamau. Everyone gets a hug, and wrapped its other flipper around the trainer. People nearby panicked and grabbed bamboo sticks and poked at the walrus in an attempt to have him let go of his unwanted free hugs. The walrus eventually did let go, and the corpses floated up to the surface, for the walrus had very successfully drowned both the tourist and the trainer. The zoo ruled the walrus was just playing. He's not a murderer, and so the walrus is still there today, waiting for someone else to come and try and take a selfie. We're transitioning into the next story now. So here's some transitional wind noises. Wind sounds. For our next animal attack, we go to Florencio Valeria Zoo in Argentina. The year is 2007, and the exhibit of choice, the giant anteater, also known as the ant bear. These creatures can grow up to 217 centimeters long, or 7 feet. They weigh about 50 kilograms, approximately 110 pounds. They're known for their distinctive variety of grey colouring their body and their elongated, toothless snouts, which hosts an incredibly long tongue used to clean up ants. They also have very long, knife-like claws, usually only deployed for defensive purposes. In this year, 19-year-old Melissa Casco was sent to clean the enclosure of the giant Anteater, and a male of the species decided to be particularly aggressive that day and rushed her. Rearing up, it mauled at her abdomen and legs, slashing its claws deep into her flesh. Other zoo staff were able to intervene and drag her to safety, shooing the male away. But as they operated to amputate the worst of her injured legs, the anteater's kill was confirmed, and she did not survive the surgery. The zoo chose not to punish the anteater. As they explained, it was an unusually aggressive tactic. Also, the giant anteater is an endangered species. Its victim, not so much. Another transition. This time, pebbles being dropped into some water. Bloop. Bloop. A very splashy bloop. And finally, we go to Pittsburgh Zoo in Pennsylvania, United States of America, in the year 2012. This time, we're not dealing with a singular killer, but instead an entire pack of African wild dogs, also known as African painted dogs. They are the largest wild canine in Africa, standing up to 75 centimeters or 30 inches at the shoulder. They're approximately 153 centimeters in length, or 60 inches. They can weigh up to about 36 kilos, or 80 pounds. They're known for their colourful, patchy coat of white, black, and brown splotches, with large bat-like ears adorning the top of the head, and a bushy tail ending in a white tip. Now, the zoo had an observation deck above the African wild dog enclosure, and a woman decided to visit them that day with her child, who she had somehow managed to keep alive for 2 years. And on this day, she decided, looking at the railing around the viewing deck, that it was obscuring her child's viewpoint. So, picking the child up, she put him over the railing. He, being a 2-year-old child, wriggled around and fell from her grasp, bouncing off a net meant to catch debris and rubbish, and landing in the middle of the 11 African painted dogs. They immediately swarmed the child as the mother looked on, as suddenly she was about to have a lot more disposable income. After the child was consumed, the mother did try to sue the zoo, but the zoo and its lawyers were very much like, "But why would you do that? Why would you lift him over a 4-foot tall wooden railing surrounding the observation deck and separating you from the animals?" The wild dogs were unfortunately separated from their tight-knit pack and sent to other zoos, so that the enclosure would not become some sort of horror tourist attraction. It now hosts cheetahs instead. Perhaps the next child dropped in will receive a swifter death.